Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Hawkeye Sky Cycle 2-pack, or motorcycle pack. I don't really know what this thing is. But what I do know is I cannot wait to get this Hawkeye figure out of the package. So, really quickly, let's run over what this box is showing us. So we got a nice little render of Hawkeye and his Sky Cycle on the front. Nice little comic picture of Hawkeye on the front and on the side. Hawkeye with his Sky Cycle and his other little accessories there. Nice picture of the figure on the side. Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, 60-year anniversary logo on the top. I know I said a very long version of what that should be. Nothing on the bottom, so let's get this guy cracked open. And here we have Hawkeye and his Sky Cycle out of the packaging, looking fantastic. But before we get a closer look at them, let's actually take a nice little quick look at his accessories. So just the ones I have in hand here. We get a nice little arrow for him to fire, or to look like he's firing if you would want. I do like the little sculpted detail of the feathers on the back not being quite the same length as they wouldn't be with a real one. Can I get my camera to focus? There we go. You see, they actually are all very different size. Or wait, no, two are the same size, one's off, that's right. And then, because my camera doesn't know how to focus on anything but that nice little brick wall backdrop, especially anything this small, can't really see much of it, but there is no pointed end to it. So, yeah, that's the look at the arrow that I'm going to be able to get, sadly. Looking at his fisted hands here, you know, you got some nice ones if you just want him punching, which is cool. That's awesome. We also, of course, let's pull this out. No Hawkeye is complete without his bow, and we finally have a newly sculpted one. Why? I don't know why my camera can only focus on things in the background, it seems like that. Alright. I was trying to see if maybe that would offset it a little bit, because sometimes it does. There we go. See all the nice little sculpting for the grip right there. I've noticed some people seem to be having a lot of problem recently with marbling on like their figures and stuff. All the metal looking bits, and I assume this is supposed to be metal, maybe wood. But I noticed maybe a slight bit here and there, but not much. Even like my Ultron had very, very little of it, which was nice. And I watched Shardimus Prime's video, and his had a lot. So apparently I got lucky. Alright, so pulling is... Actually, you know what? We ain't even going to pull the hands off. We're just going to show him with them on. So looking at his nice little gripping hands here, you can see where I've been you can see which one I've been posing him with his bow. Right there, the little black mark, which is the downside to any painted figure, is paint rub. But, you know, these are nice. My big complaint with this guy, it's not my only one, but it is my big one, is that he can't hold his arrow. Like, he can, like that, but, you know, he should have a split in his hand to hold it with, instead of just, you know, holding it awkwardly to the side like this. And I've had a few other problems, like, I guess he does have butterfly joint. I didn't notice it till just now. I was going to say he didn't have it, but I guess the way I should put it is it's not very evident, and because of there not being a split there, as much as you can get a really nice looking bow pose with him, like so, if you wanted to put like his arrow in this hand and bow like this. So let's quickly do that, because I'm going to whine about this for a minute. And then I'll let it go. See, if you could like slip that between his fingers, and you had my posing skills, you could just stand him like that on the shelf. No Sky Cycle needed, but sadly you can't, and he has to awkwardly hold it off to the side, which means it angles inward. If I can. I'm just kind of roughly holding the arrow where it would be instead of messing with it. So you can kind of get it there, but it has a tendency to fall. Overall, though, this figure is so nice. I can't let little things like that get in the way. Especially, like, alright, there's a few other complaints. I want to talk about all the good stuff, and then I'll whine. How's that sound for you all? So, number one, the sculpt. And I know the body is reuse. I think the arms are as well. But again, new bow, new sky cycle, and a new head. Along with, I believe this is a brand new quiver full of arrows for him. I could be wrong. That might not be true, but I'm pretty sure it is. I won't check, though, because I don't have any other Hawkeyes to compare it with. I know the bow's new, I know the head's new, and of course the sky cycle. So, yeah, the one thing I will say I love is we got the cloth. I don't know why Hasbro doesn't do this more. Like, had they done that with the Thor from this wave, or any caped figure, even if it was just as simple as this, no bendy wire or anything, just loose cloth, it would go such a long way in helping collectors like me absolutely love every figure. Like, I would be a lot more inclined to buy more Thor figures and caped characters if they had cloth. Like, where's one I have sitting around? I know I say like a lot, but I'm trying to do comparison. Hobgoblin I have sitting over here. Like, could you imagine just tattered cloth with this guy instead of this rubber? Oh, it'd be so nice. Anyway, throw him back off to the side there. You know, overall, this looks like Hawkeye. You can't deny that. This looks accurate. This is accurate to the books in every way possible, at least to the older ones. I love how really defined his, I call this his mask, but, like, the whole thing is a mask kind of helmet. But I really like how this is. I do wish that maybe the H was a bit more like Daredevil's D's here, where it was a different color, just stand out a little bit more. And, you know, I still think these could have been brighter, but this I would have loved to have been more of a pink. I'm trying to see if it's anywhere else on the figure. Are his boots the same color? Yeah, they are. I don't know, but more pink is what I'm saying. Not as purple, or maybe a lighter purple or something, or darker. Whichever way they'd like to go, I would have just loved to see it be more clear. Clearer than it already is what I'm getting at. Of course, so Hawkeye does have his nice little it's not super defined, but it's not mannequin-esque. He has a slight smirk on his face, like, you know, he's just gotten away with something. It feels accurate to the character, I know, and that's coming from someone who doesn't read a lot of Hawkeye, so if I'm wrong about him, I'm wrong. It's not that hard. But looking at his sky cycle here, because I'm trying to gush about these a little bit, because I really do like them, but there are issues you should know about if you want to buy it. So the sky cycle, of course, you have this nice clear plastic front piece, which is amazing looking. Overall, the look of this thing, you cannot deny, is awesome. Yeah. Is it silly? Yes, but it was silly in the books. It's hard to bring something that was silly in the books and bring it to life without making it silly. I didn't even notice till just now, let's see if I can focus on it at all. There's a little dash up there, and that's just because I'm looking over this closer. It's so cool, it's so nice. It's well painted. Even the bottom has an amazing sculpt on it. It's all really well done. This is a figure that is worth your money. But the one problem is, there's no pegs for his feet. And I know some people would whine at saying, oh, well, it just sticks out. It doesn't look as good. But I have had such a problem. I just want to stand him on here. With this thing, number one, tipping over. And I know that was really rough, but, like, it just does. Here, let me actually try and pose him a little bit. So if I get him like so, this sky cycle, it doesn't fit the stand it's on. Really, what I think, yeah, that's why I want the pegs, is so he can just stay on there. Because the thing is, I already see what's going to happen with this, is you put him on your shelf. flying around or whatever, and it just goes like this, and eventually, after a little bit of time, falls over and knocks everything down. So this will sadly not go on the shelf. But what they could have done to fix it was come up with a little bit more of a new stand and done 2 holes in here where you have one stand, and then it could just be one that like connects down here and then plugs up, because it's not perfectly centered, so it kind of angles about. You can see here it doesn't. Okay, well now it's taking a lot to move it, but like you saw when Hawkeye was on it, it took almost nothing but the figure just sitting there to absolutely topple this thing to one side. And you know, like, that's cool and all, this looks cool, but when a figure can't hold on there and when it just falls over if a figure's on it, it's a problem. So I have to bring it down. It just, again, worth your money, but buyer beware. And now it's really not staying. So I'm just going to set that off to the side. My other issues with this guy, I don't know if everyone's having this problem, but his thighs, every time I try and bend his knees, that's why I had to pick him off camera when I was moving him. It's because his thigh tries to pop off, and part of me wants to see if it'll happen, and a part of me thinks I don't want to break the guy, so I'm not going to try it. But that is such a big issue. Why would you ever make such a soft plastic that it almost breaks your figure for me to move his knee? And you see, like, I have to hold it together. Here, let me just go again there if I'm bending at the knee. Look at that. Look at that massive gap. And it shrinks back up. But still, that should never have been here. That is just not okay, especially from, you know, $50 figure. Again, I would, and that's the really hard thing, is I want to recommend this guy out. I really do. But the more I think about it, and the more I see these little quality control problems here and there, you know, the arrow not being able to fit into his hand properly, so he can't hold it, my camera not focusing. If I zoom in a little bit, is that going to do it any justice? We'll see. We'll find out. You know, I'm sorry if it's going in and out and I don't notice. I kind of look over my camera more than I look at it, and I just glance down. So if it goes out of focus and I don't look at it for a while, that's why. But yeah, it's such a good figure, but it just has enough issues with it that it's hard to fully recommend. But then I look at him, I really get him posed around looking amazing. And if you get him looking nice, it is an incredible figure. It is amazing. It is near my ideal perfect Hawkeye. If it just weren't for those few issues, will he make my top 10 legends at the end of the year? Oh, I bet you he will. It's an amazing figure. Again, small issues. But yeah, let's quickly get him compared with some other figures, stand him up next to him, and see how he looks. And standing him up next to some of his fellow Avengers, we have the 20th anniversary Captain America and the 80th anniversary Thor. And I think he scales pretty well with these guys. Now, of course, we'll see some more of his fellow Avengers, some of the West Coast, very shortly here. But I felt these two, to me, were the most... I associate him most with Thor because of the films. I grew up watching them, you know, that kind of thing. I shouldn't say I grew up watching them, but yeah. I watched them a lot, especially that first one. I really like it. I still like it a lot, a little less than I used to, but, you know, moving on. And here he is next to the 80th anniversary Hulk and the Walmart exclusive Black Widow. Let me zoom back out just a tad bit so you can see Hulk better compared right there. And you can also see how he stands next to the Sky Cycle. And comparing him here next to a couple of West Coast Avengers, we have War Machine and the Silver Centurion Iron Man. Again, scale pretty good. I think these are the only 2 West Coast Avengers I own until I might get that 5-pack when it goes on sale, because I feel at that price it will. And I am 100% getting Wonder Man. I love the look of that figure. He's so nice. I just have yet to find him. I try not to order too much online. Like, I think the rest of my videos for the next while are all Yeah, all of them are going to be ones I found in store, because that's what I try to do. I enjoy the hunt. Yeah, let's get these two out of the way, and I'm just going to talk for a second. Yeah, enjoy the hunt. I found this guy at GameStop, and that is the best feeling in the world when you can find one of these, really pick up the box, even with windowless packaging, and just kind of feel the weight that it carries, you know. You're like, okay, yeah, that seems worth the $50. Whereas you might grab a Star Wars figure and it feels like nothing, and you're like, really? You want me to pay almost $30 for this? 27, $28? You know, when I can feel the weight and the heft of a figure, even without seeing it from just inside the box, that speaks volumes to me about, am I getting my money's worth? So, yeah. I think you get your money's worth on this. A few of the issues I have are just with mine. Some are with all of them that can easily be fixed if you're willing to cut up a figure a little bit, you know, like fixing his hand there. This problem, I don't know what to do with the thigh. But yeah, overall, I don't really rate my figures out of 10, but if I went off of like 5 is middle of the road, mediocre, I would give this guy a solid 6.5, because the Sky Cycle, it's so well sculpted. It's actually, you know what, 7. He gets a 7. Because the Sky Cycle is so well sculpted, it's so nice. Same with the new headpiece and I believe quiver. Oh, bow too. That is probably one of my favorite aspects of this figure, but overall, it's just so nice. But it's when you try to stand him on the Sky Cycle, he falls over. And you could fix that by, you know, doing something to the plastic or super gluing it in place. I won't do that because I don't like to do that to mine, but to each his own. And without further ado, figure on his own. Amazing with the Sky Cycle, but yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope if you did enjoy, hit the like button. Tell me your thoughts on this figure. Do you like him? Do you have him? Do you want him? Do you think I had the right thoughts about him? Or do you completely disagree with me and maybe hate the figure? Tell me in the comments. I want to hear. I love seeing them. Even when they're negative, you know, just look at them, I smile and go, hey, at least they took the time out of their day to tell me how much they didn't like the content. So, yeah. No matter what your thoughts are, comment down below for me. Hit the subscribe button if you did enjoy, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.